Hey guys, in this week's video, I'm going to talk about, are you getting enough nutrients from food and do you need supplements? And the short answer is, well, it's kind of yes and no. So you don't need supplements. It's like saying, well, do you need enough water? I mean, you can survive off a small amount of water, but to be optimal and feel your best, you're going to have enough water. So it's the same with supplements and nutrients. So from our foods, we can't get the optimal amount of nutrients required. So we can get enough nutrients to live, obviously. We can get enough nutrients to not get disease, but we simply can't get enough nutrients from our food anymore to be optimal. So being optimal means we're going to feel our best and get the best results, which is what we want with ourselves and with all our clients. So why is this the case? Like, you think we should be able to get enough nutrients from our food, right? Like if we eat a balanced and healthy diet, we should be able to get enough. But we're kind of in this modern lifestyle, I guess, we experience a bit of a double whammy. We're getting hit from both ends. So what happens is we're not getting as much nutrients as food than we used to due to modern farming. And at the same time, we need more nutrients. So when I say nutrients, I mean vitamins, minerals, amino acids. We need more than we used to need due to our modern lifestyle. So let's talk about the food first. So with our food, why do we have not as much as we used to? So we've got depleted soils. So the nutrients from plants come from the soil. So the soil that's on farm, so what they do is we have what's called mostly monoculture now. So monoculture as opposed to polyculture. So monoculture, they just grow one plant on the one paddock or the one farm. So one guy grows bananas, another guy grows cabbage, another guy grows broccoli. And there's not any differentiation on the one farm. So that one crop takes out the nutrients from the soil and they're not rotating it with something else. So in a polyculture, which is the old school, like a small farm would have a polyculture. If you have a garden at home or a vegetable garden, you would have a polyculture because you have multiple different plants on the one patch of soil. And then you can rotate through those in different spots each season. So different crops will take out different amounts of nutrients or different types of nutrients, and then the different plant you put in there the next season will pull out something else. So it's not draining the soil of the same stuff all the time. At the same time, we have pesticides, herbicides, fungicides. So they kill pests, obviously. They also kill the bacteria in the soil, which help create minerals and a lot of the nutrients in plants. We have the fertilizers, so NPK fertilizers. So it stands for nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So they're the three things that a plant definitely needs to live, but there's other minerals we want and other things that could go on a fertilizer as well to help, and so it's an incomplete fertilizer. So that's sort of the gist of what, and also with our crops now, we breed them and they're designed to basically grow the most crop on the smallest amount of land. And that can mean, depending on the plant, less nutrients as well. So due to that whole sort of scope of modern farming, we've got less nutrients in the food. And then, like I said, why do we need more nutrients in our modern life? Well, there's a few different factors. So number one is toxins or toxicity. So all the toxins that we come into contact with through our everyday life, so car exhaust, plastics, those pesticides I was talking about, our fruit and vegetables, all those things require nutrients that our liver and our body has to process to get rid of those toxins. So the more chemicals we take in, the more nutrients we use up in that process of processing those chemicals. So 200 years ago, half these chemicals didn't exist. So we could actually use the nutrients in our food just for building and repairing our body and making our body run. Whereas now a lot of those nutrients are used to actually try and process and remove and detoxify these extra chemicals we're getting in that we didn't used to have. Number two is stress. So the more stress we have, the more nutrients we use up. We are so much more stressed than we used to be. We got less sleep, we've got our phones going off, email, we've got so much more responsibility than we used to have to. That means we chew up more nutrients. Exercise, the more we exercise, the more nutrients we need. So of course we know it's extremely healthy to exercise. If you're exercising 3, 4, 5 days a week, then you're chewing up more nutrients than you would be normally. So then we've got drugs, so both over-the-counter and prescription. All over-the-counter and prescription drugs can deplete or will deplete at least one or more nutrients. So certain drugs will strain different types of nutrients or vitamins and minerals and amino acids depending on what it is. So, and finally got genetics. So different genetic susceptibilities will make you not absorb or process types of nutrients effectively. So for example, there's a gene that about 40% of the population have. It's called the MTHFR gene. And with this gene, it means that you don't process folic acid, if you've heard of folic acid, into the active form, which is L5 or tetrametrahydrofolate, which is a big name, but that's the type of folic acid we use. So if you have this type of gene, then you're not going to convert folic acid into the type that we need. So that's so you might be low in methylfolate, which is the active form. So we also have processed foods. If you eat a lot of processed foods, then they are very low in nutrients but high in calories. So you're taking in the calories but not getting in the nutrients that should be with them. So again, you're missing out on more there. So I know that was a lot of info there, but that's because people, say it all the time when I talk to about nutrition, oh, I get enough from my food, and it's just simply not possible. So how do you sort it out? We have, at CTS, I guess, we have our core 6 supplements that basically provide with the most bang for your buck. So, we have, so at our core 6 supplements, we got fish oil, magnesium, multi, zinc, vitamin D, and digestive enzymes. So there are core 6 supplements. These basically that everyone can benefit from. So it's very rare that someone's going to have enough of these nutrients if they don't supplement already. A few rare exceptions. So for example, if you're a tradie and you work in the sun with your shirt off all year, then you're probably not going to need vitamin D. So there's a few exceptions there. But most people are going to need one of those 6. And you don't have to take all 6, but what I recommend is chat to your coach, and they will recommend and give you some advice on what they think might be the best supplements for you. So yeah, have a look into that, guys. We've got more information too at the gym on these subs. So if you've got any questions, just let us know. Thanks.